So basically, mobile payments, in my opinion, is a completely gray area for many. When I say mobile payments, people either think of NFC or they think of M-Pesas and stuff that you hear in Africa. It is not the case. Mobile payments is vast. There are a lot of verticals in it. And when we say mobile payments, you have to ask the right question. What precisely are you going to talk about? So in this presentation, in the first few slides, we're just basically going to see what are the types of mobile payments and how does each one of it work. And then later on, we're going to see some numbers, and then we're going to move on to see how that converges with mobile marketing. I like this definition that Juniper puts on its research because I think this is the most precise one in my opinion. I'm just going to read it out for you. It says, payments for goods or services with a mobile device, such as a mobile phone, tablet, or any other such device. Anywhere you use a mobile to make a payment, it's considered a mobile payment. Broadly, you can classify mobile payments into two. One is a remote mobile payment. The other one is proximity mobile payment. Proximity is where these NFCs come into picture. For me, NFC is just a device to interact, nothing else. It isn't a sort of a payment device. It's sort of a communication method. Remote mobile payments could be basically where a merchant is on other end of the globe. You are using your mobile to make payments to him, either transfer money or use credit cards on your mobile phone. This remote mobile payments can further be split up into three. The first one is direct to bill. Direct to bill is basically where the money is charged onto your airtime, which is basically, let's say you have a prepaid phone and we just take the money from your account. Traditionally, you've been using this to buy ringtones, wallpapers, and so on. Excuse me. Now, the trend is shifting towards buying digital goods and services. If you are in US, Turkey, Germany, you can buy, let's say, you can rent a video on YouTube or on Netflix. You can pay for Spotify. You can pay to advertise something on web, basically where there is no tangible value to your product. And TimV focuses in this area, and we have a brand called Mcoin. The other ones are basically more Silicon Valley focused companies with big investments, and I can say that being a Portuguese company, we are far ahead of them in terms of revenues, in terms of the market reach, in terms of the brand identity. The second is basically mobile web and app payments. Here basically what you tend to do is you insert your credit card. The basic example is you go to m.amazon.com, you select a product and you enter your credit card information. What you're basically doing here is you're using your mobile to buy something. It's remote. The merchant is located in place X, you're placing an order from place Y. It's remote still. So this is, Bango is a good example, and I've also used iTunes because you buy apps with your credit card and the person who delivers the content is virtually in Luxembourg or in US. The third one, it's the most commonly known one, which is what people typically relate to when I say mobile payments or mobile money, which is basically a second wallet. So you have one with your airtime, where what you spend on data, voice, and so on. There is a virtual second wallet, which is basically a bank account that you access from your mobile, but no one sees the bank account. Everything is tagged onto your mobile phone number. This sort of became a big thing in Africa because people didn't have access to bank accounts. So the telephone companies, they tied up with the banks and offered this virtual account on their mobile phones. All they need to remember is their mobile phone number. Increasingly, this is also being adapted in developed markets, like Optimus in Portugal also is doing it. So this is sort of good. But again, when I say mobile wallet, it could actually mean two things. One is aggregating all your credit card, bank information into one, or taking money from account X or taking cash and putting into a virtual account, which is a second account. So it could be one of these two forms. And based on what you're looking into, you have two different categories of companies providing it. One is like you have a Google Wallet. People just relate to Google Wallet as NFC payments. Actually, it's not. What Google Wallet in one of their verticals do is they aggregate all the credit card information. So you go to a website on your mobile phone and you say, okay, I want to buy a product from, let's say again, from Amazon. And then you say, I want to pay with my Google Wallet. It lists you all your credit card information. You choose the credit card. Remember, you're still on mobile, and the payment is done. It's hassle-free. You don't have to enter a lot of information. I'm just going to run you through this video to see how it works. As I was saying, Google Wallet, basically what it does is it aggregates all the credit card options, and it creates like a virtual wallet. And the M-Pesa is on the other end. Basically, you transfer money and you use that to transfer money. But remember, all these three payment options that we discovered, that we went through now, are used to make payments to a remote merchant. So this is basically the difference. So that is the part of remote mobile payments. That is one category of payments. The next one is proximity mobile payments. This is basically you have a merchant standing next to you and you pay to him using a mobile device. The typical example again here is a version, I would say a version of Google Wallet, which is basically it has an NFC tag. You just go, you tap it, and the payment is done. It's taken either out of your credit card or it could be out of a stored value account. The stored value account is basically where you keep your money. To give an example for that, PayPal in UK provides this option, which is basically it gives you a barcode. You say generate a barcode for a specific amount in your app, and you show to the merchant, they scan the barcode, the payment is taken out of your PayPal account. There you have a stored value account. This is one example of where mobile acts, where you use a mobile at a point of sale. The next one is where merchants use mobile to accept payments. This is the most hottest thing in the market now. People talk a lot about NFCs. NFCs is nowhere close to being adapted in the markets these days. Currently the market is around 245 billion US dollars, but almost everything comes from Japan, Korea, and so on. But whereas in markets where there has been less where there has been less and less adoption of accepting credit cards, this has become very hot. US is one typical example. You can find the Square device even in Apple Store, or if you are with Verizon, you can also buy it from them, and you're a merchant, it's free. You can accept credit card. You put it in your iPhone or Android dongle, download the app, swipe credit cards, end of the day money is in your account. This is also considered a mobile payment device. You have also PayPal doing it, and you have a lot of companies in Europe doing this these days. And this is also considered a mobile payment. Now, let's look at some numbers to see where the market is heading. And that also defines how much more it is going to get coupled with mobile marketing. This is the total size of the market. The scale is missing. The y-axis is already in millions, which means when you see 1.4 there, it's 1.4 trillion. This increasingly, the market can be equally split into two. The total mobile payments industry, the current market, half of it coming from remote mobile payments, more and more on the direct to bill, which is paying with your airtime credits, and the rest half coming from NFC payments, but more driven by Japan and Korea. Now there has been a shift in the market, but as time goes by, you would see Europe and US occupying almost equal shares. And this is largely driven by NFC payments, companies like Square, PayPal here, and so on. This is specifically to remote mobile payments. Remote is basically where a merchant is located on place Y, you are on place X, and you buy something. Basically, if you're buying an Amazon product from your tablet or from your mobile phone, it is considered as this. Or you by downloading an app with your credit card, it's considered as this. You're using a PayPal account on your mobile phone, it's considered as this. So here the market is at around 245 billion. The scale is not quite good here, and it's predicted to be at around 750 billion by 2017. Here there is going to be a shift. The direct to bill, which is paying for the ones that you've used to pay for ringtones and wallpapers, will sort of remain constant. Increasingly, the credit cards paying from PayPal and so on will increase, largely driven by mobile commerce. This is NFC payments. If you see, the market is again around is around 245 billion, and it's expected to go around 745. I think there's something wrong with the scale. And as you can see now, the market is largely driven by Japan. I was in Japan a few months back, and I did notice pretty much you can use NFC for all sorts of payments, vending machines, buying a pass, buying a ticket, or for pretty much everything. Largely it's driven by that market, but increasingly with Google and Samsung's pushing for the market, and also there needs to be an increased adoption by companies like Visa and MasterCard. I think this will change. Europe will sort of start taking up more of this, and the market is expected to grow. Having said all of this about mobile payments, this is increasingly coupled with mobile marketing. Let me explain how. If you use a Square device or Google Wallet, it comes with an inbuilt Google loyalty card or a loyalty card that's specified to a merchant. Every time you buy, it adds credits to your loyalty account. So already that's a sort of marketing you see. And also if I think some of you at least would have worked on selling subscription clubs for ringtones, wallpapers, it's sort of a thing that is also going to evolve into m-commerce, which is basically user clicks on something, sees an advertisement, clicks on it, and is already paid for it, sort of thing. This is the typical flow in a consumer purchase process. Let's see how mobile payment fits in each one of these. In the mobile marketing space, you advertise on mobile web saying, okay, you know what, you can buy so-and-so products in Amazon, this and that. So the user clicks on it, it takes to a page, user clicks on buy, the purchase is already done. Because mobile is so seamless that you can bring in a lot of features that makes the purchase very simplistic. The goal is not just to drive the users, the goal is to make the users buy a specific product. Then, let's say the user has gone to a physical shop and he wants to buy something there. And then let's say in continent, here in Portugal, and you pay with your NFC enabled phone. You just tap on it, the purchase is done. It immediately adds a loyal point to your card. And let's say the next time you visit a store and it sort of throws an alarm when you tap on a NFC loyalty card saying, okay, you know what, you have more and more discounts on these sections. You go to the sections, you buy instantaneously all the products, it adds to a shopping cart, you buy, you take the products and walk out. You don't have to stay on the queue. So it also helps on that part, which is the customer relationship management, which is it knows how many times a customer has visited, how many prices he has checked, has he gone to any other store and checked the prices, can I offer him more discounts because there is more information available elsewhere, and so on. So this is also becoming increasingly important. And also on the NFC part, there is far more advancement in the market, and I would like to share one of the examples which Chimvi does. We recently partnered with Turkcell in Turkey and with KFC, and we enable this amazing product, which is you go to a KFC shop, you get a card, which is an NFC-enabled card, you take it home with you. Every evening, you just tap on the card to see if there are any discounts on any specific products. It just shows you all the products. You tap on buy, say deliver it to my house, and the product and the food is already at your house. NFC really helps in a lot of sense in that way. And the next day, when I have new discounts, or if let's say I have partnered with an apparel manufacturer, let's say H&M, I can also push that advertisements onto the same NFC tag that you took it with you. The next time you tap on the NFC tag, it would say, well, you know what, you have one discount from KFC, one discount from H&M. Do you want to buy it? Just click on buy. We probably already have put your credit card information there. It just does the shopping for you. It's very seamless. And as and when we go and sell mobile payments or mobile marketing, we see that the large brands, they just don't want two separated products. They just want a single solution. Because mobile marketing also has become increasingly like a commodity. Let's say you get an advertisement in Mobi for 30 cents, and you get the same for in 20 cents in Google, you would just go for Google. Obviously, there is a factor of how much it converts, but it's become a commodity. It's the same in payments. So increasingly, when you sell it as a solution, it's also easier to sell because you're providing a solution or a service to the consumer. And this is what we have been saying. And basically we see this to be an interesting opportunity, at least in TeamV, and we take this as a challenge. And that's basically it. Maybe questions?